Okay, so I am Goldie, and I work at the Center for Women and Families. I am a family advocate here um, as my full time job. But as part of that job, I have gone beyond and I've done a lot of trainings here at the center and at the state level, both at conferences and at the Kentucky Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Um, as part like training people how to work with survivors of intimate partner violence and sexual assault who happen to be queer or trans or just identify somewhere in the community. So we've done about 8 hours of training, like just for one session, as many as that, and as few as like 2 hour long trainings. Um, just giving people skills that they need, advocates and other people of other professions they need to work with survivors. Um, a lot of that has also been just introductory um, training. A lot of people these days don't need a lot of training on, lesbian, gay, bisexual, working with those kind of clients, but a lot of people are still really don't know a lot about trans stuff, especially outside of Louisville. Um, so that is what we've focused a lot of our trainings on. Kind of explaining gender versus sex versus sexual orientation, pronouns, and how all that means, and how you need to respect people for who they are. I've also been the person in charge of organizing our Pride events and kind of like changing policies and stuff so that we are queer inclusive here at the center. Let's see. So I can talk about both within the domestic violence world and the world at large. So changes I've seen over time involving the oppression. I think a lot of people think that things are just getting better constantly for queer folk, and that's really not the case. Visibility does not equal less oppression, and people just didn't get rights with gay marriage because that's only a very small issue. Some people will minimize it, marriage. I think that it is important as far as like being able to have the right to go with your loved one on their deathbed and along those lines. The institution of marriage is pretty fucked up, but it's important for what it, like for societally, what we need to do with it. There's been a lot more trans visibility in the last 2 or 3 years. And with that, there have been a lot of bathroom laws coming up, as well as just people being blatantly more transphobic. And as more and more people are coming out as trans, we're also seeing the trans murder rate, especially for trans women of color, rise. And for an example, during the Me Too movement, a lot of trans voices have been, very silenced. During with all the Kavanaugh hearings, it is really focused on women. When trans people and non-binary people specifically, and anybody can experience sexual assault, but trans and non-binary people specifically experience sexual assault at a rate twice as high as cis women, at least with the numbers that we have. So I don't think things are necessarily getting better. I think things are just being different, and people are, feeling more comfortable coming out. But that doesn't mean that things are necessarily better. We are getting more the fairness laws throughout, fairness ordinances throughout Kentucky and more cities, which that's nice. So that they can't say that that's a reason that they're firing someone for being queer or evicting them, or denying them housing. But people can still find other ways to, if they are queer, to fire them or not house them. So there's that. I do think that the queer community is getting a little better. There's still a lot of focus on white people and kind of not raising the voices of people of color, as well as the more marginalized folks like trans people within the community. A lot of it focuses on gay men. Yeah, anything else?
Well, that's it.
I was just rambling, so.
That's okay. You can hit the red button.